Hello everyone, and welcome back to another JedBedrock review. Today I will be reviewing the FN2000 by G&G, and I have a lot of good things to say. I've been using this gun for over a year now, and I absolutely love this gun. It is a more expensive gun. I think right now it retails at $329 on evike.com. And the body is mostly all polymer, but don't be discouraged. This is the nylon fiber reinforced polymer. This is the good stuff, definitely. This grip here is polymer. I believe it's the same type, but it's really nice. One of the most comfortable integrated gun grips for grip I've ever used. This charging handle is plastic. This top black piece, this whole upper receiver, is plastic, with the exception of the rail. The rail here is solid metal. Turning it over on this side, this is plastic. This is the body pin that allows you to take off the upper receiver. That's metal. Trigger assembly is all plastic. The dust cover is metal. The outer barrel here is metal. And one nice touch that I like on it is on the gas block here for a real FN2000. They even made it to where you can, I don't know if I can do it for the video. Come on, buddy. Move. Anyways, you can turn that off and on. It's a little hard to, there we go. I was blocking it, but it's a little hard to open and close, but I think you can open the gas chamber on the real FN2000 with that, which I think is a really nice touch. And then the butt pad is rubber, and actually this is one of the most comfortable guns to shoulder I've ever shouldered. This is the most comfortable gun. Anyone that holds it comments on how comfortable it is. I don't have it here, but if you were to buy it retail, it comes with a front sight, a metal one, full metal. The rear flip-up sight is also metal. I hate it. I just don't like integrated rear sights because they're so small, or just rear sights in general. They're so small. I don't use iron sights. I hate them. It comes with this magazine. It is a metal 450 round high cap from G&G. It's really nice. You can see some wear that I've got on it. I've been using it. And now on to more of the sticking points for this review. So in a previous video I stated that the point of these reviews are to give people that are looking to buy one insight on what will happen to the gun down the road, different quirks with it that other reviews may not cover. So, putting the mag aside, this barrel right here is not retail. It's actually something I've custom. It comes with the orange flash hider, as always, and the butt pad reveals the battery compartment. So what you do is you pull this up like that, and you might think that after a while, after a little while, this is actually going to crack and break, and then you'll have to get a new butt pad. Amazingly, no. That's what I originally thought, but if you can see, there's kind of some rubber reinforcement right around here, and it's made to do that, and it's been doing that for a long time. Just don't do it, too often. Otherwise you may wear out the rubber. and make sure to treat, the gun and rubber well, so the rubber doesn't dry out. But yeah, it's held up very well. I'm very impressed. So this scoots forward. It's kind of hard to push forward. There we go. To reveal the battery compartment right here. Now, the original battery compartment is right pushing this away. Well, okay, there we go. Wait. Is right here where my finger is. Now, when I bought the gun, I saw that battery compartment and I thought, oh my gosh, I can fit almost any battery I want in there. This area is huge. Actually, no. You can't see them in the video because I cut them out with a saw. But in the body, there were two circle things that poked out into the battery compartment. And it didn't allow me to put a massive battery in there because the battery couldn't fit because of those plastic things that were sticking out from the side. So I took a saw in there and I believe there's two of them in there. Let me check real quick. Yes, there are two of them, and they're on this side of the gun, so the right side of the gun, and they're on the wall right in here. Once you cut those out, then the F2000 can accept almost any sized battery you can shove in there. I know I like to run a 2200 milliamp nickel metal hydride battery. I know, I'm a dinosaur. But it fits it once you take out those plastic pieces. So before you buy it, just know you'll have to take those out in order to use a massive battery. Once you do, you can use a massive battery. This area down here is free real estate as well. So if you'll notice, there's a fin sticking out. Well, that's because there was another fin, but I cut it out because once you cut out those fins, they have no structural significance. They just kind of flop around in there. So I cut one out, and now I can stick a big Burst Wizard MOSFET down in there, and I really like that. It gives the F2000 massive room to do stuff. So if you think that you can shove a lot of things in here, you can. You just got to cut a few things out. Also, on the back end, this is the spring. Now, or more specifically, the spring guide. So basically, this is a special V6 gearbox where you can screw and unscrew the spring out of the cylinder chamber, which means you can lower and raise your FPS at will whenever you want. Please don't do it on the field. Do not give this gun a bad name, okay? Please just don't, alright? But this feature, I love it. I wish most all airsoft guns could or would have it. It's super nice, and then the spring industry would die. But anyways, I went to a game one time, outdoor game, 400 FPS, and my gun was chronoing in at 405, 406. I said, wait a minute, ref. Put an Allen wrench in there, unscrewed it a little bit, chronoed again, under 400. This can, in the great state of Oklahoma in the United States, our indoor speeds are about 350 feet per second. You can make the conversion to meters per second. But I am able to achieve anywhere from 330 to about 410 with this gun, with one spring, and I love it. It's really nice. Now, with that said, there is nothing holding the gearbox in the gun. The only thing holding the gearbox in the gun are these two screws here and here that hold this black plate on. This black plate goes all the way down to there, and it covers up the back end of the gearbox. The motor is right here, and I do have to warn that the plate does not push on the motor contacts. which means that your motor contacts can still jiggle loose like any other gun on the market, as far as I know. Now, away from that, we go to the cover here. If you flip this up, it actually gives you sight into your hop-up chamber, which is super nice for changing your hop-up right on the fly, because it's right there next to your face, and it's just really nice. I love it. The other thing with this gun is that it is heavy. I would say it may not seem all that heavy, but once you kind of get it on the field a bit, I think it weighs in about 5 or 6 pounds, and once you get it on the field for a little bit, it gets really heavy. I do not have it on now, but I actually went and I made myself a custom sling for this gun because it gets so heavy. That is because the real steel version is not sold in the US anymore, retail. So getting a sling, a proprietary sling for this gun is really, really expensive. So I just went and I made myself one. It works really nice, and that's what I use. Now, this gun's super nice. It's held up to everything. It's great for CQB. When you fire, I have had several people comment during the time I've been using this gun of how quiet it is. And that's because all the material back over by the gearbox, this material is very thick. So when you shoot, anyone that's not almost right next to you is not really going to hear your gun, if they're going to hear it at all. So it's super quiet. It's kind of a stealth gun. And I had someone comment one time that was just a few feet away and they could not hear my gun. And so that was really cool, because the BB actually does make a sound when it leaves the barrel. That's the whole reason people sell amplifiers to go on the front of a gun. Now to how the gun works. In my time of using it, I've had to work on it a lot. The barrel and the overall accuracy of the gun, stock when it came, was garbage. If you want an accurate weapon for your first gun, do not get this one. This gun is what I call a vanity gun. I got it because I just had to have it. I liked the look. I wanted it. And I couldn't really find any reviews that talked about how the gun was like after you bought it. Well, here's one now. Its accuracy is garbage. It has poor air seal, poor compression. Its barrel was poor. The normal hop-up in itself is not that good. And so you would get like a Fortnite-sized bloom when you fired this thing with your .20s. And so I have replaced it with a Type 4 barrel. I have cleaned the gearbox. I turned the hop-up into a flat hop, and I am fixed the air compression issue, the air seal issue. It still does not have good compression in the cylinder because I haven't fixed that yet, but there's basically no compression between the cylinder and the pistons, so, well, not really compression, air seal. So this gun has very poor air seal. And so I've replaced the barrel. Like I said, I worked on I cleaned out the gearbox, got it going, and turned the hop-up into a flat hop, fixed the air seal between the hop-up and the barrel, and the hop-up and the gearbox, put a 6.01 Type bore barrel in it. And also the next thing is the trigger. When you look at a FN2000 for Airsoft, the most common thing is probably going to be talked about the trigger. And that is because while it does use the same technology as a P90 for Airsoft, for some reason this technology doesn't work as well. What I found happening was that the distance between how far the trigger goes back in single fire mode and how far the because basically what it is there's a bar, a metal bar, leads from your trigger up through the body of your gun all the way till right about here, where there's a metal like hooking, I don't know how to, there's like a metal thing like that, and your bar comes up against it, and when you pull the trigger it goes like this. And so there's a lower contact and an upper contact. The lower one is single fire, so basically you hit it and the cutoff lever knocks it back and you keep going. The problem with the F2000 is that in single fire all the time the trigger goes back too far and engages, you can hear the click probably. You can hear the click. When you hear that click in single fire mode, that is bad news, because that means that your gun has transitioned into full auto mode and your gun will not fire. So you have to go into full auto, and you have to then put a few rounds through it to get it going again. And it's really hard. I didn't even use it on single fire mode. Though the saving grace about this gun is that it does use an AUX type trigger. So it's like, go halfway, you fire one shot. The problem with that though is because of the trigger issue that was causing the single fire issue, using it like an AUG trigger does not work very well at all, if at all. So you have to just commit. Pull the trigger once, hope it doesn't fire more than one BB, depending on how fast your trigger finger is. So what I've done is, in order to fix this problem, is I bought a Burst Wizard MOSFET. You can find them from like $30 to $50 on evic.com. And I put one in here, and I told it that the F2000 could only use 1 round burst. So what that means is that every time I pull the trigger, it's going to think I'm doing a burst each time the contacts touch, and it will only allow 1 round to be fired. So theoretically I semi-locked my F2000 in full auto mode. That solved all of my problems with the trigger. So if you're willing to buy this gun, know that you may need a new barrel. You will want to fix air seal between the hop-up and the barrel. And you will at least want a MOSFET to help with fixing the trigger problems that the FN2000 can have with its single auto fire. Because every now and again my indoor field will semi-lock everyone, and then I just feel sad because I wasn't able to for sure fire off 1 shot per trigger pull. So I can do that with this now, and I'm very happy. So just know before you buy it that those are the types of things that you're looking at, and those are my fixes for it. If you're wondering about the air seal between the barrel and the hop-up unit, I use plumber's tape. That's what I use. I just wrapped it around the bucking and then slid the hop-up on. So that's what I used, and that's what you can be expecting. Now that everything I've done to it, this shoots really well, really reliably, and really good. It's a solid gun. I love it. You just gotta get over the first impressions that it can give, and if you know how to get over those, then you're doing really well. Well, thank you for joining me. This has been JedBedrock for gun review, and I will see you guys on the field. Bye.